6/4/2022. Alchemy of Steven School. Do not try this at home, not for consumption. Subscribe for updates. So this is my Green Lion Alchemy acetate it's the acetate path of alchemy, the wet path of alchemy in my sun dome, which is my solar alchemist oven for coagulations, in which the matter is coagulated to dryness and the burning is avoided for the most part. I mean, on a really hot summer day, this thing could probably cook the material. But for the most part, as long as I keep up with it, no matter wet, doing my imbibitions, there is my green lion. The black box is internet now. Let's make sure we can see that in the camera. It's here. I'm adjusting the lighting as we go. You remember in the writings of the sages, being careful not to destroy his flowers, nor burn his greenness, or not to burn his flowers or destroy his greenness. There was an old alchemical manuscript from way back that said that, or something words to that effect. So this is my green lion of alchemy. Notice the green color in the writings of Theophrastus Paracelsus. He said the green lion achieved its name for nothing other than its color, which is green. The sun dome does a good job coagulating it without the burning. It's solar, so electricity is not needed. This sun dome is something that I came up with on my own, my ideas. This is my Magnum Opus. It's my work as I deciphered it and perfected it. It's not copied from anybody else. So I'm doing an imbibition now of the green lion. My green lion. Being careful to keep the material in the extraction vessel. I only want to pour off the menstruum, the extract. Notice that I did not grind these chunks or rocks of iron pyrite in the mortar and pestle before I began the extraction. I placed them in there as I received them in chunks and did the extraction. That does affect the outcome. It could take longer to do the extractions, perhaps. Perhaps I should let them dry out and grind them. I do my experiments in different ways. Subtle changes usually cause subtle outcomes, but with this experiment, since I started it this way, I'm going to finish it this way. I'm going to do my extractions with the pieces as they are, and then continue my process, my Magnum Opus. So I have this jar labeled Sun Dome Alchemy, so there can be no mistake but that it goes to the Sun Dome. And I also keep the plastic wrap that I used to cover the jar. I keep it marked with the number. This says the number 14. That means that this is the 14th turn of the alchemical wheel. Now when I put the plastic cover on the extraction vessel, I put it loosely because I want to keep out dust and insects and debris, but at the same time, if there's any expanding gases in the glass, they need to find vent. They need to be able to vent. So I leave the plastic loose. That way, if the gases expand, they do not crack the glass. I also store it outside for proper ventilation. So here I see some bubbling like unto the eyes of fishes. I give it a big drink, a good imbibition, and that way I can leave this outside in the sun for a few days. You know, this sun dome is very efficient, so it will coagulate the matter pretty quickly. With a big drink like this, it'll take a little bit longer, but still, with this level of efficiency in this sun dome, it won't be more than a few days, if that, to achieve the dryness. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place the top on the sun dome. It's going to be put back outside in the sun. I'm going to add fresh menstruum to the extraction vessel. Now in some of my works I've begun reusing the menstruum over and over again. It says in some of the old alchemical manuscripts, talks about pouring the same water back over it. So in a lot of my works, you know, I use fresh menstruum for every extraction. It's good and potent. Actually, it's a weak menstruum, but I want to see what happens when I reuse the menstruum or the same menstruum over and over again. So if you have subscribed to my YouTube channel and you're watching my video uploads, you'll probably see in some of my other Magnum Opus videos that in some of them I reuse the same menstruum because I want to see what happens. And it seems efficient that way when it's done in a distillation train, as opposed to this type of a distillation, which is a simple evaporation. So I have more than one Magnum Opus alchemy experiment going right now. I have one in a distillation train. I have one in a flask. I have one in a jar that I haven't done anything with yet, only set the proper conditions. And then I have this one in the sun dome. But the one that I put together that's in the jar that hasn't been, I haven't done anything with it yet. That one I'm going to do my original method of the Magnum Opus. If you ever saw the Magnum Opus DVD video that I published a long time ago, I believe it's no longer in print, but that original Magnum Opus is, I'm going to do that one over again. It's a good process. I've had a better understanding now after all these years in alchemy. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get new plastic wrap and a marker to cover the top of this thing with. Alright, so the new top cover is going to be marked number 15 because we are in the 14th coagulation here and we are in the 15th extraction there. Covering the top. I'm covering the top loosely with this plastic wrap. And I'm going to write number 15 on it. It's the 15th time that I am extracting the material in that vessel. We can see the fresh menstruum is already having an effect. Something's going on in there. And now the proper conditions are set. So I am going to place this experiment back outside where it was. This is Alchemy of Steven School. Subscribe for updates. Do not try this at home, not for consumption. I have a book I wrote a long time ago, Alchemy and the Green Lion. It's by Steven School. It's on Amazon.com. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.